Give a minute to come on. So, this guy that was in the store today, wait for a second.
Introduce yourself and all that too.
There's only one person so far. Hi, Kate. I miss Molly. Hi, Nita. Dinner with the psychic. Hi, everybody. I just got back from work. Lots of good stories. What's up with the balloons everywhere? Oh, thought you meant it was a party. Talking about the China balloons? I don't know. I just call distraction. That's all I'm going to say about it. That's my guess. So, hi, Anita. I just got home, so I'm going to be eating. You guys know how it works now. This is a new thing we're doing. Hello to everyone. Just got back from a day of doing tarot and oracle readings. And it was an interesting day. I'm going to let more people show up. Get a few bites in my mouth. I had a lovely dinner. Marinated chicken. Cajun tasting shrimp. What's the new thing? About what? Oh, this is my supper. Supper with the psychic. Because I have so many stories when I get home from work. And of course I'm not, no, I'm not a football person. And I'm not telling you exact stories, and I'm not telling you stories necessarily from today because I'm trying to keep people's anonymity in place. Hello, Corinda. But anyway, I'm going to tell you some interesting stories. So, and yes, I have chicken, shrimp, and sweet potato fries with, looks like, is this feta over the fries? Yeah, yes. Right? Oh. And they're air fried, so they're not fried with oil, so they're delicious. Hello, everyone. So anyway, first thing that happened that was interesting was, you guys, some of you know who Roxy is. She's my black lab mix. This man came in, or a young man, kind of punky looking, Hispanic, or Latino, and he had a black dog, looked just like Roxy, wearing a little vest, service vest. And I said, oh, that looks just like my dog. And I chatted with him for a minute or two. And then I'm sitting in my little room where I do the readings. Who's with you? You have to, oh, it's my friend Fred. And my mouth's full. He says, I have a strange thing I want to ask you or tell you. And I said, sure. I said, what, do you recognize me? Because he was like staring at me, right? I said, do you recognize me? He says, sort of. And I said, how? And he says, he goes, this is going to sound weird. He says, I recognize what you smell like. He says, I recognize your smell. What does that mean? I hope I smelled good. That's all I hope. I hope I smell good. That was a strange comment, right? Mm-hmm. So some of you might not know this. I've been working in Cassadaga, and then I work at another place on Wednesdays. Cassadaga is the spiritualist capital of the world, supposedly, and definitely of the United States. It's like Lilydale, but it's in Florida. It's all full of spiritualists. That's where I'm working now on Fridays and Sundays. So lots of interesting stories. I'm doing readings all day, you guys. It's exhausting. The last couple I read one of these days, a nice little biker couple, older, probably in their, I'm guessing mid to late 60s. And the funny part is, there's a song that Fred told me about called Amber is the Color of Your Energy. I don't know, Corinda. He was trying not to be creepy, so I'm assuming he wasn't being creepy. He wasn't like making me feel weird or anything. He just was being honest. I felt like he was intuitive, and that's one of the things he gets is some people get smells. I do sometimes too. So it was kind of weird. Anyway, so this older couple, their biker couple came in. This wasn't today, but I'm going to tell you a story anyway. All the things I was telling them in the cards, yeah. My cards are pretty darn accurate. Hey there. I haven't had a lot of mistakes with the cards. They're pretty straight. But when I do mediumship, it's always like, you never know. But lately, I've gotten so good at I haven't had anything not work out. as far as mediumship goes. Yeah, I recognize people I smell too. Yeah, I agree. So, I kept singing the song, Amber is the color of your energy, right? You know the song? He told me about the song. The guy here. And so, I've been singing it all day. And so I'm sitting there talking to them, and they say to me, we'd really like to speak to our daughter. She passed away. And I said, all right. Go into the mediumship. And I said, what's wrong with my chest? And they're like this, and they go, we know what you're talking about. And I said, all right, something's wrong with the breathing. Hard to breathe. Having a hard time. And what am I eating? I'm at. I am eating chicken, shrimp, and like a little piece of chicken, a bunch of shrimp, and then some sweet potatoes with feta and cilantro on them. Fred made it for me. Isn't that nice of him? Thank you, Corinda. So, I say to them, does this song mean anything to you? And I go, Amber is the color of your energy. And I was singing that. They both start crying.
No way.
Her name was Amber.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm.
It made me cry.
Yeah.
It was sad.
That
She
must
just
be so
died.
powerful.
She just died.
Really?
Well, it gets worse. Sorry to say. Kind of a sad story. It made me cry. So, yeah. If you want a reading, by the way, sometimes I do them on lives. Obviously, I'm eating. I'm not going to do it right now. But you can go to my website, missmollyknows.com. Okay? So, that started the whole thing. So, as I'm talking to them, I say, why do I keep seeing these hands stacked on top of each other like this, like that? And they said they tried to perform CPR on her several times. And hi, Ryan. It's sad. I got a name.
Maybe don't, you know.
I don't want to tell her everything, but I got a name of somebody. And I asked them who it was, and they said, we don't know that name. I'll just say Jack, just for name. It's not the real name. Hi. I said the name Jack, and they said, no, we don't know who that is. And I said, I'm sure 100% that's who it is. There's somebody involved in this. And they said, we don't really know all the details of why she passed. She already had a heart problem. And what I'd said before they told me all this, so I'd said, I'm having trouble breathing. I know. And I feel like somebody's knees are on my chest. I said, but I already have a heart problem. And that just made it, like, somebody was hurting her, but they weren't trying to kill her. But because of what they were doing, because of her problems she already had, she passed. So they explained to me later that, yes, she was in an abusive relationship. And the week before, he had beat her up pretty badly. And they still suspect that he did something to her, even though they're saying it was a heart failure. So I said, I don't know for sure. This is just the impressions I'm getting. So I'm hoping they find closure. She did say something, though, that was also very compelling. And what she said was, she gave me the impression that her life was very tough. And they were great parents. They were really wonderful. They were beautiful people. I mean, I loved them right away. But she'd had a hard life. She'd picked a lot of the wrong people to be around. She was a helper. She was one of these people who loved people so much. She would put up with so much crap from people. And she said, I had a chance to come back. This was before I knew all the details, by the way, you guys. Okay. She said, I had a chance to come back. And I did for a second. And I went again. And then I came back and I left again. And so when I found out the CPR thing, it made sense. And she said, I just wanted to know what it was like to see beauty. Hi, hug. Yeah. Yeah, I have funny right here. Yeah. There's something I have funny right here. I'm trying not to cry, guys. It was pretty. I felt bad for them. I mean, it was pretty. It was beautiful, too, because they felt like they connected with her. But it made me sad that they had to go through that. It just happened. So, anyway, that was the most interesting part of my day, I think, a couple days ago. You know what else is interesting when I do this kind of work, you guys? We got a lot of people that are cheating on their spouses.
Really?
And they don't mind telling me, guys. It's like being a hairdresser or bartender. Thank you, Chantel. And they don't say anything to me like I don't know what's going on, but I'll start talking to them and I'll say like, there's two different men here or two different women here or whatever. And sometimes this is the weird, and this used to happen to me as a hairdresser too, you guys, when I did hair. Oh, Alicia. Well, no worries, honey. I'll be there on Friday. Is sometimes I'll read somebody and then their husband comes in right after them. Or vice versa. And I don't know. They haven't said anything to me like they know each other. And so then I'll start reading the next person. This happened today to me, actually, at some point. I won't say who it was. I won't say it was man or woman or what. But I read the one person and then the other half came in right after. It's like, because there were a couple of those today. And I was like, whoa, and I could feel it. But when I'm not going to say anything, of course. I would never do that. I would never cross-reference. Matter of fact, as I'm telling you guys these stories, I'm not telling you every detail. I'm changing some things for privacy. Okay? So just understand that. Oh, somebody got a brownie. Those cause gas. I'm telling you right now. We have these gluten-free brownies from Aldi. And they're delicious. But guess what? Hi, Rockin'. They give you gas. I found out. I don't know what's in them, but they're delicious. I like gluten, so.
They're happy farts.
Correct. Exactly, Wolfie. So I'm really kind of being very loose with my what I'm telling you guys. Made from chickpeas. Oh, is it? It might be. Do you know what the flour is in those brownies? That might be and we ate chickpeas. He did roasted chickpeas last night. Yum. Yum. So, I want to say thank you if Renee's watching. I don't see her on here yet. I'm using the cup she sent me. Renee, Visnon Designs made these cups for me. There's little straw toppers. I didn't put them on, but these are really nice. Okay. Another lady, the first person I had one of these days, came in, sat down, starts asking me about her love life, whatever. And this dude is so catfishing her. I feel so bad for her. But we went through this whole thing about this man that she's been thinking about uprooting her life on and all this other stuff. And I kept saying, this guy's bad news. And that's the one whose husband came in right after her.
Oh, no.
Like, she didn't say anything to me.
Right.
Like, I have a husband. Like, all she did was talk about this guy. Like, she never said anything like, I have a husband. But I kept saying, there's two people. And she wouldn't, cop to it.
Well.
Then, this is the another bizarre one. I had a gal that wanted to reach out to her deceased husband. And so I, did my thing. And all I got was this visual of a man. It was very, very clear what this guy looked like. I could see him, and I described him to her. She says, that's not him. And I go, it's somebody you know. And she's like, no, it's not. And she's kind of arguing with me. And now here's a lesson to any of you intuitives out there when you're doing this kind of work. Do not doubt yourself. All right? Because I almost backed off and said, oh, I must not know what I'm doing. I was kind of like at that moment, but I thought, no. So I said to her, I'm not going to back off. This guy is important. So I got a piece of paper out. And you guys know I do some automatic drawing. And so I've been doing this a lot more, you guys. And this is what I encourage you. If you're learning to be an intuitive or you're intuitive and you're developing your abilities, don't be afraid to try different modalities in the middle of what you're doing. If you're doing a tarot reading and you feel like doing mediumship, do it. If you're doing mediumship and you feel like jumping into the cards, do it. If you like drawing, you feel like writing, you feel like singing, it doesn't matter. Go with what you feel. And that's what I do now. So I pull out the paper, I pull out the pen, I start scribbling quickly. I'm not even looking at the paper, you guys. Drawing this person. I look at it, and he's got this really funky looking nose, like very distinguishable nose, like has a weird kind of big bulbous sort of nose,
Right.
And I draw this guy, and I'm kind of trying not to crack up because I don't want to be judgy. When it's her dad or something, right? And so I draw the whole thing, and then I say, do you know who this is? And she pulls her phone out, and she's doing all this on her phone, and she goes, yeah. And she shows me that guy, the same person the same exact person. No doubt. And the first thing I said is, that's his nose. She goes, I know. When you drew that, I freaked out. It's this guy she hasn't met yet.
Oh.
That she's been dating on the internet.
Oh. That's pretty wild, huh?
Yeah. So then I said, okay, so I got the cards out and I said, your husband, Chris, the one that passed, that's not his name, by the way, isn't saying anything. He's just showing me this guy. And, I described him some more. And then I said, I'm going to pull some cards. So out jumps the Lover's card. Which doesn't always mean lovers, but I'm sorry. I was asking, like, is this the right guy?
Right.
Then I do it again, and out comes the Two of Cups. I'm like, okay. So I said to her, I think maybe you're supposed to be with this guy. I can't say for sure, but... So also, guys, I want to caution you when you're doing these things, be careful what you tell people because they take it as advice. You have to be careful to say, you have free will, but this is how it looks to me. You can't have to be super careful because you don't want to tell people things like, you should leave that guy or you should tell him to leave. Or, you don't should anybody. Don't should all over people. No shoulding. Keep your should to yourself. More of a, it feels like you might want to. Sorry, I'm trying to think of some other interesting things to tell y'all. So, that was interesting.
Yeah.
Anything else interesting? Oh, you guys, I was so busy today. I probably did like 8 or 9 readings.
Wow.
I like your style, Wolfie. Wolfie is saying that. Exactly, I've had to say that to my friend who had me do tarot cards. Yeah. I was right about your ex to a T. Yeah, Alicia. So, it was a pretty decent day, but it was also a little emotional from time to time. Oh, I forgot to mention, this first woman I helped out got so overwhelmed by what I was telling her, she started to hyperventilate. And I had to run out and get her some water.
Oh, wow.
And I said, I'm sorry, do you want to stop? And she's like, no, I'm just not, she says, I just get upset and blah, blah, blah. And I felt bad. I was like, I'm not here to upset you, and I wasn't telling her anything upsetting.
Right.
I was just reading, but whatever I was saying, apparently was resonating for her.
When you hit the mark, it scares people sometimes. It upsets them.
It does. It really does. But everybody I read for today was super gracious and very nice, and I liked everybody that came. We had really good
energy
in the shop too, and it goes that way. If I'm having a bad day at the shop, the other person, it's like that, because we're right on a vortex, we're right on a ley line where that store is, you guys, and it is an active spot. There's a lot of haunting in there, and trust me, we have a lot of activity that night in there. Sometimes we all kind of read each other. Sometimes I've read through the wall. I've read the client next door, and the client next door is, the psychic next door reads me on the other side. Yeah, I changed my hoop. You're right, Alicia. I just did it. Alicia went with me to get my nose pierced, and she said she just noticed the hoop. Cool. See my hoop? If I read astrology chart, I'm an empath, so I cry with Yeah, Jamie, I get you. Oh, you guys are funny. Yeah, it's hard. And I was on my way home, and I started to get really sad. I started to feel really bad for that one couple, but
you helped them.
I helped them. That's what I realized. I'm helping, even if it's hard.
It is hard sometimes.
Exactly, Fly. I appreciate what you said. But it was a lovely day.
Good.
A little cold, but, the energy was great. We had a really nice time. Everybody was hopping and bopping. So, thank you. Thank you, Wolfie. So, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. I know. Unless you guys have questions and stuff, I'm probably going to sign off for now. I might just pop on again later. Tomorrow, I definitely will be on at some point. And we can all do some fun stuff and maybe even do some readings. What do you think? How do you guys like this Supper with the Psychic? Give me your input for a moment. Do you like this idea? Or does it bug you that I'm eating while I'm talking to you? Go ahead. Weigh in while I'm chewing. Ooh, I got a crunchy one. Spicy. That's Roxy drinking. Cool. Sun for a change. Doesn't bother me. Okay, I hope you have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. And what's kind. Yay! I'm glad you guys like it. I just thought, why not? I always have these great stories, and then I can't remember them later, right? And so I figure I can record these. And I am uploading a lot of these up onto YouTube, you guys. So if you came in towards the end and you missed something, you want to hear the stories, jump on my YouTube. They're on there. Miss Molly knows. Thank you. About my eyes. And watch it, and you guys will see me soon. We'll do some live stuff soon. I've got really cool stuff coming up, you guys. I did some more inventing some new stuff. So, love you all. Thanks for joining me for dinner. Love you. Mwah. See you guys later. Bye.